This is a Draw My Life video. Draw these nuts. On, of course, the Daily D. The Daily D. Make sure you tell your friends or I'm gonna get angry and I'm gonna fuck shit up. I'm gonna fuck shit up for real. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I was born July 9th, 1993 at Munster Community Hospital. This is me as a baby. This is my mama, my daddy. They were quite happy to see me. Apparently they were getting it on 9 months prior, but I don't want to think about that because it's quite disgusting. So, yeah, none of that. I was a pretty happy kid. I had an older brother, well still do, his name is Brandon. I got an uncle. He's kind of like my brother though, so I call him my sibling too. His name is Max. They bullied me a lot when I was younger, but you know what? You get over that shit and it makes you grow as a human being. So I also had a grandmother named Audrey. She was the most amazing woman ever. I was actually closer to her than I was with my actual mom. You know, she used to read me stories, she used to cook for me all the time. She was pretty much the best grandmother ever, and I loved her, like, still love her to death. Alright. So then I went to this school called Spirit of God for pretty much kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. Kind of ironic that it was called Spirit of God and it was like one of the most demonic fucking schools ever. You know, I mean, they might as well have been training us to be devil's little disciples there. I mean, we had to say the Pledge of Allegiance, sing all these songs and shit. It was evil as fuck. But snack time was amazing though. We got to eat fruits and fucking fruit snacks and all that shit. I will say though, I did like the lunch there. That was one of the coolest things. They had some really good ass hot lunches. I always remember I didn't know what the difference between hot and cold lunch was. I mean, I guess cold lunch is what I brought, hot lunch is what they had. Either way, I was very happy. So, you know what? Happiness is what matters. Then for my entire elementary life, I went to Banneker Elementary School. The main thing I remember about this fucking school was the principal who had on this giant fucking wig like a fucking acorn on top of her head, and she was mean as fuck, and she would beat kids with this paddle. Meanwhile, the whole time I'd be sitting there looking at her like, bitch, I wish you would, even though she did a couple of times. I remember the sex ed classes there were amazing. But anyway, one of the biggest things I remember about Banneker, well, first off, it was this giant ass playground that we had. Like, literally, we had like 5 sets of swings, 5 sets of slides, monkey bars, all type of shit. It was a kid's dream. You know, fucking Gary, Indiana, ghetto as fuck. But you know what? It was a big ass playground. By the way, that's a fucking slide. Don't judge my drawing, okay? I can't draw worth shit. Anyway, the main point I wanted to make about Banneker was that's where I made my first best friend. His name was Tyree. He had this big afro from what I can remember. But you know what? I wasn't one to be judgmental, you know? He had these buck teeth too, but all kids at that age had buck teeth. And plus I didn't have that many friends in, and he was cool as fuck, one of the best friends ever. We hung out a lot. It was dope shit. It was also around this time where I started playing basketball. You know, my height. I'm pretty much supposed to, and I'm black. By the way, that's my tongue sticking out. Ha! I was tall as fuck. You know, that's a little height bar. That's me trying to play basketball. I sucked a little bit, but you know what? I got better over time and I was decent. The other thing I remember about being on the team was, you know, all this different players and shit, you know. I remember this guy, Rory. I also went to Thea Bowman with. Rory, RJ, Sonny. I think those are the only ones that I remember that I went to Bowman with. Oh, and Brandon Thomas. Then there were like a bunch of other kids on other teams. My dad was the coach, which I fucking hated because, I mean, most kids, they get to go home, they don't got to deal with it. Me, I had to stand there with a question mark while he snapped off on everyone else. He also would foam at the mouth, and they used to talk about him for that. But, yeah, so I left the basketball team, they replaced me, and I moved on with my life. No more basketball for me as long as my dad was the coach. But so then, you know, I spent a lot of time with my grandma. I spent almost every day with her. You know, like I said, I loved her to death. She was the best thing that ever happened to me. Then unfortunately, one year she died, and it was the saddest thing ever. You know, it was no more happiness. I kind of went into like a deep depression after that. I mean, I was young and I was confused. I didn't understand what death was. I didn't understand why my grandmother was taken away from me. I just knew that I hated everything because of it. And it sucked terribly. So then, like, the entire time, you know, I was going through this depression, I would, you know, think of all these ideas of what would be amazing movies or amazing TV shows. And I was a kid, so, you know, my imagination was wild. So I would type all that shit up and think, maybe one day, you know, if I'm lucky. What else got right here? Oh yeah. Then I went to 21st Century Charter School. It was this middle school. I fucking hated that school. It was shit. Oh my gosh, the worst thing about that school was the fucking lunches. But you know, I'll touch on that later. The school was fucking small. It was brand new in Gary, and it was supposed to be this whole big new thing that they were really about. Yeah, that's right. I spelled school wrong. Fight me then. But yeah, like I was saying, fucking lunches were called food for thought, and they were pretty much TV dinners in a fucking box, and it was fucking disgusting, and it was a waste of my fucking time. Made me throw up, so to say. Blah, 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 blah. That's the toilet, by the way. That's the shitter. So, shit, what else happened? Oh, yeah. So, oh, fuck. What the fuck happened after that? Oh, yeah. It was around this time where I met my friend Darnell. Those are braids, by the way. It's not long hair. D-Bandy, Chef Boyard Bandy. We had this whole crew. It was him. It was this guy, Renardo, and it was this really black guy named B. Martin. Brandon for short, and then of course there was Tyree. We were like this whole big group. We were this big ass fucking clique. We didn't have a name, but it was just, you know, TDDRB, just so you can know. And we used to always hang out on the block, aka my street where I grew up. It was like the big hangout joint. All types of shit would go down there, you know. The place was dangerous, you know. Motherfuckers out here being thugs and shit. Excuse my language, like to curse a lot. Used to do a lot of bad shit, like throw rocks and eggs in cars, and they would chase us, you know. We were badass like that. But so I mean, that was pretty much it for my middle school life, you know. It came a point like around that time where I pretty much went blank. I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do, and I wanted to fly solo, except for hanging out with my friends on the block. So my mom sent me to Thea Bowman High School for high school, and it was the worst fucking thing ever. I hated it, and I wanted to stay at 21st Century Charter School, even though that school was fucking shit too, but I had a lot of friends there, and it was my first time I was forced out of a school and go to a different school I didn't want to go to. So, I mean, class life, I was pretty much a loner the entire freshman year. I mean, here's everyone sitting in the class, here's the fucking teacher, and that's like me all the way in the back, like, what's up, fuck shit up, thinking to myself, plotting shit, you know, not evil shit. I was a good kid, okay, I wasn't one of those crazy psychopaths. But anyway, I found out in my Spanish 1 class freshman year, like it was the last class of the day, and there was these 4 girls in the class. There was Tamika, there was Dominisha, there was this girl Ebony, and there was this girl Christina. And they were all in that class, you know, we all pretty much had classes all together. And like I said, I was a real quiet kid. But you know, they would always talk to me, you know, they'd always bug me, and I'd be like, what the fuck, what you fucking with me for? But then I found out, oh my gosh, they're amazing, and I started to like them, and you know, it was love. You know, they are the best friends ever, they still are the best friends ever, and I love them. We're still friends to this day. So then came sophomore year. Oh yeah, that time was when I became really fucking talkative. And then I met this other girl who was really fucking talkative. Her name was Sierra Allen, and we were fucking talkative together. We were always fucking shit up and talking about people and up to no good and shit. Oh yeah, fuck shit up. So I mean, that was sophomore year. Then came junior year, which is when the incident happened. Now, if you were with me in that year, you know what the fuck the incident was. It was the worst possible thing that could ever happen to me in my entire high school experience. You know, I explained what happened. A lot of people didn't believe me, but you know what? I didn't give a shit. You know, I've explained myself billions of times. So it came this whole incident where it was like just me by myself, and like I was isolated. You know, nobody really talked to me. Everybody thought I was a fucking weirdo because of what went down, and no one knew what to believe. I lost a lot of friends, and they were all just like, fuck this weird kid, and they was like, he did this, he did that, and a bunch of shit that didn't even concern a lot of people. But you know what? Fuck those kids for all the people who didn't really like me or who liked me but didn't change their mind because of that shit. You know what? Fuck you. I don't need you. If you forgave me, you forgave me. But senior year was my favorite year. Mainly because, I mean, I got back into the talkative mode, you know, since after junior year I was kind of quiet, but senior year, you know, I had a little bit more friends, you know, Tamika, Ebony, Dominisha, and Christina, you know, they were still there for me, which was fucking awesome, you know, friends forever and shit. And I also had some other friends I always talked to, but the best part was fucking prom, because prom I went with the most beautiful girl in all of the high school. Like, she was cheerleader, she was the best, she was the funniest, she was awesome, and she was like my best friend ever. Her name was Miranda, and I mean, you know, we had the best time ever, and like I said, it was like the dream prom date. Like, oh, the most beautiful girl in school. Like I said, best night ever. It was amazing. I won't forget it. And then I graduated and I moved on with my life. But the summers were always filled with drinking. I remember that shit. It's like when I first started and I all get wibbly wobbly and shit. I became a fucking alcoholic, you know. Me and my boy D-Bandy, we used to fuck shit up and get wasted. But you know what? That's life. And then I went off to college. here. Columbia College Chicago is where I'm at now. I'm here pretty much, I was worried, I was going to be alone. I had to make a whole new entire group of friends. I was scared. Who isn't scared when they first got to college? I mean, I was excited too, but that's beside the point. So then I started working at this movie theater called Showplace Icon, aka the most shittiest place on earth. Don't buy tickets. You want to enjoy yourself, fuck that place. But you know what? While I was there, I also made a bunch of friends, a bunch of fucking cool ass friends. I mean, mainly these main three people that are my friends there. My bro Felipe, Adam, and Little Farias, Eric Farias. The bros. The coincidence is they were all Mexicans, so I was like the token black guy. Then I also made another friend, Eric C. A couple other friends, a couple other friends, Eric C. And you got little Karina over here, and you got my girl Nicole, you got my boy James, you got Kiera with the long hair, and then they were all connected somehow. Eric was friends with Felipe was friends with Adam, Nicole was friends with James, and over here and over there, and oh my god, it's fucking confusing and it's all over the place. Overall, everyone was friends with me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so many friends. But you know what? There are the few who are my true bros and true sis. Here I am now in life. I kind of don't know what I want to do, but yet again, I do know what I want to do. But I'm just prepared for whatever life has to throw at me. So yeah, bring that shit on. But anyway, thanks for watching my Draw My Life video. Hope you guys really liked it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a couple of friends about the Daily D. I'm going to have a new episode out tomorrow as well. But yeah, thanks.